At long last, we've made it to December. We've survived Black Friday, and now we're on the road to Christmas and the new year. With that being said, there's still a ton more games to look forward to before we end the year, so make sure some of these are on your shopping list. My name is David Burdett, lead editor for Gaming Trend, and here are 10 games you should pick up in the month of December. We start the month off strong with 3 heavy hitters on December 2nd, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Need for Speed Unbound, and the Callisto Protocol. Number 1. Marvel's Midnight Suns. You might remember the Midnight Suns from their first appearance in Marvel Comics from the early 90s, wherein Lilith, the mother of demons, seeks to open a dimensional rift that would allow her to conquer the world with her demonic brood of Lilins. A group of heroes from the darker side of Marvel come together to thwart her efforts, forcing Lilith and her children to flee. But that wouldn't be the last the Midnight Suns would see of her. In our upcoming Midnight Suns adventure, Suns spelled with a U instead of an O this time around, a little history has been changed. Your character, the Hunter, is a child of an ordinary man and a powerful immortal, Lilith, who is consumed by grief when the father falls victim to a plague. The Hunter is raised in secret by Immortal's sister, Caretaker, with the goal that one day they would take Lilith down and restore peace. They succeed, however, at great cost, as the battle takes their lives as well. The story of Midnight Suns picks up centuries later as Lilith has been raised again by Hydra. The Hunter is resurrected as well to aid in this renewed fight, but remains haunted by their past. Not only will this new game be good for Marvel fans, especially fans of the original Midnight Suns story, but also fans of XCOM, as the game is developed by the same studio, Firaxis Games. You'll forge friendships with many of the original members of the Midnight Suns, but also heroes like Iron Man and Wolverine in a card-based tactical battle experience where you'll be rewarded for clever thinking and strategy. You'll be able to pick up Marvel's Midnight Suns when it releases for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Number 2. Need for Speed Unbound. Outsmart and outrun the cops in the race to the top in Need for Speed Unbound. Unbound is the staggering 25th installment in the Need for Speed franchise, being developed by Criterion, who are known for the Need for Speed Rivals and Most Wanted. The game features a stunning new art style that merges elements like cel shading and graffiti art with the realistic art style of other Need for Speed games. The world is your canvas. You'll be able to express your own styles while showing off your driving skills. Pack your garage with precision-tuned custom rides and take on the weekly qualifiers to reach the Grand, Lakeshore's ultimate street racing challenge. To get to the top, you gotta take risks and choose where to put it all on the line. You'll cruise the streets to the genre-defying soundtrack led by A$AP Rocky, who also has a custom Mercedes 190E in the game. Like previous entries in the series, you'll have an open-world environment, and the heat system from Need for Speed Heat will return where you'll attempt to gain notoriety from the police. You'll be able to install different body kits and install other customizations to your ride to fine-tune your street racing experience. Need for Speed Unbound will launch on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on December 2nd. Number 3. The Callisto Protocol. From one of the co-creators of Dead Space comes an all-new story-driven single-player survival game, The Callisto Protocol. Taking place at the Black Iron prison on the dying Jupiter moon Callisto, the Callisto Protocol has you taking on the role of Jacob Lee, a cargo pilot who crashed on the moon and now has to face the horrors within. There are many secrets lurking below the surface, including the cause behind a mysterious outbreak that has made the prison's inhabitants transform into grotesque creatures. The Callisto Protocol is a next-generation take on survival horror. Players will be immersed in a pulse-pounding story full of brutality and looming helplessness as they face the horrors that lurk around every corner. Dead Space fans will feel right at home in the Callisto Protocol. The game is played in third person, and you'll have to get really good at dismembering creatures to slow their advance. Resources will also be limited, so you'll have to get creative with how you use them as you use a unique blend of shooting and close quarters combat. The world and the creatures around you are evolving rapidly, so adapt to survive quickly becomes the name of the game. Jacob will have long and short-range weapons at his disposal, including a unique gravity weapon that used to be used by prison guards for crowd control. I'm sure you'll have fun coming up with creative ways to use it yourself. See if you can escape the horrors of Callisto when the Callisto Protocol releases for next-gen consoles and PC December 2nd. Number 4. Hello Neighbor 2. Think you can trust your neighbors? Think again. We were blessed with the first Hello Neighbor in December of 2017, and we will be blessed with the sequel just 2 days shy of the 5-year anniversary. Hello Neighbor 2 has you playing as Quentin, an investigative reporter who is looking into mysterious disappearances that have been happening around the suspiciously serene town of Raven Brooks. You must sneak around and find ways to outsmart your interesting neighbors to learn their secrets and get the real scoop. Like in the first Hello Neighbor, each neighbor is controlled by sophisticated AI that learns from your every move and will do anything they can to keep you away and from finding out their secrets. The one and only Mr. Peterson will be making his return as well as one of those you must investigate. However, you're lucky to catch him red-handed, but he's not at all too happy about your snooping. This time the stakes are higher. All of Raven Brooks is your playground in this open-world investigation simulator. See what you can dig up on your neighbors when Hello Neighbor 2 releases on PC via the Epic Games Store and Steam, as well as on Xbox and PlayStation December 6th. Number 5. Dragon Quest Treasures. Eric and Mia live on a Viking longship, but they dream of the day when they can explore the world in search of treasure. On one fateful night, they are met with a mysterious pair of creatures named Porcus and Persula, and are whisked away to the land of Draconia, where such an adventure awaits. Draconia is truly a land of wonders, and Eric and Mia will need to recruit some new friends to help them as they traverse open fields, scale cliffs, and glide over gaping chasms. You'll venture into the vast world with mysteries around every corner in search for the legendary treasure. But Eric and Mia aren't the only ones after the treasure. You'll have to fend off various monsters and other treasure hunters along the way. Combat will be a real-time mixture of melee and ranged attacks with your assembled squad of new friends. Dragon Quest Treasures features a vast and beautifully crafted world for you to explore. See it for yourself when it releases on December 9th exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. Number 6. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. We're all patiently waiting for the arrival of Part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but in the meantime we can pass the time with another Final Fantasy VII Remake, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. For those who may have somehow forgotten, Crisis Core takes place 7 years before the events before Final Fantasy VII, following the story of Zack Fair, a Shinra soldier who has teamed up with other of Shinra's elite warriors to investigate the disappearances of several operatives. Players will also get to see the legacy of the iconic Buster Sword as it is passed down from Angeal to Zack and finally to Cloud Strife. Much of the original team behind Crisis Core and Final Fantasy VII have returned for this remake. The graphics are fully remastered in HD with renewed 3D models, including characters and backgrounds. The battle system has also been improved to provide a much smoother gameplay experience. Crisis Core features fully voiced dialogue in both English and Japanese, and a newly rearranged soundtrack from the original composer. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion will be coming to Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation on December 13th. Number 7. High on Life. From Justin Roiland, co-creator of Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites, comes High on Life, a comedy adventure where you're a bounty hunter equipped with a mouthy arsenal. That may have sounded like something weird to say, and that's because it is. You're fresh out of high school with no job and no prospects, and then an alien cartel shows up wanting to get high off humanity, and now it's your job to protect the galaxy. You and your team of charismatic talking guns must answer the hero's call to become the most lethal bounty hunter of the cosmos. From Squanch Games, the studio responsible for Trover Saves the Universe, High on Life is a first-person adventure that'll have you traveling across all sorts of landscapes, like a jungle paradise and a city built inside an asteroid. You'll leverage the distinct skills of each of your certainly unique choice of weapons to defeat a variety of diabolical alien enemies and track down Garmantuous. This game is sure to be full of laughs and all kinds of fun surprises. You'll be able to see it for yourself when you pick this one up for Xbox or PC on December 13th. Number 8. The Witcher 3 Next Gen Update. The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt is finally getting its Next Gen Update. Taking full advantage of the power of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, as well as modern PC hardware, this update will feature dozens of visual, performance, and technical improvements. Among those will be ray tracing support and faster load times, a number of mods will be integrated into the experience, and so much more. The update will be free to those who already own The Witcher 3, but will also be available to purchase otherwise for those who don't, and it will also come with a new set of DLCs inspired by the Netflix Witcher series as well, including weapons and armor for Geralt. The update will become available on December 14th via download or update with a physical release plan in the future. Those who own the game but are still on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or Nintendo Switch will see some additions and improvements as well, and they will also be able to check out those new Netflix Witcher-themed DLCs. Number 9. Blacktail. See a tale from Slavic folklore come to life in Blacktail. Based on the stories of the Baba Yaga, a supernatural being who appears as a deformed and ferocious-looking woman, Blacktail is the story of 16-year-old Yaga who has been expelled from an early medieval Slavic settlement after being accused of witchcraft. Yaga is then faced with living memories of her past as she has to unravel her own mystery. A mysterious voice leads Yaga down a dark path. With the help of the Black Cat, she'll track down elusive spirits and engage in thrilling combat to recollect her memories. Blacktail is a first-person action-adventure game from the Parasite team and published by Focus Entertainment. Yaga will be equipped with her trusty bow and gauntlet to defeat the many enemies she'll face in the wilds. You'll have to craft arrows and potions, hunt wild game, and gather resources to survive in this foreboding world. Along the way, you'll find hidden treasures and pieces of Slavic myths to learn more about your surroundings and their history. Unravel the past and shape your future when Blacktail comes out on next-gen consoles and PC on December 15th. Number 10. Valkyrie Profile, Lenneth. The final game on our list is actually a port of a PSP remake of a PS1 game. Valkyrie Profile Lenneth is a tale of fates woven by the gods and mortals steeped in Norse mythology. Lenneth seeks the souls of the worthy to fight alongside the Valkyries, but Asgard is at war and Ragnarok approaches, so time is short. She must decide where she stands and discover her destiny. Valkyrie Profile Lenneth features deep, action-packed combat and a captivating story with multiple endings depending on your choices and actions. Gameplay will be a mix of dungeon explorations, light platforming elements, and RPG-style battles. The game has also been ported to iOS and Android back in 2018, and after a delay from its original September release date, we'll finally be able to get our hands on it as well when Valkyrie Profile Lenneth comes to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on December 22nd. And there we have it, folks. 10 awesome games coming out in December. And with that, we can start looking forward to what 2023 has in store for us. With games like Forspoken, Hogwarts Legacy, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom just over the horizon, there's sure to be enough adventure for everyone. Be sure to stay tuned to GamingTrend.com and this channel for all news, reviews, and more. My name is David Burdett, lead editor for Gaming Trend, and we'll see you next year.